I think it is, from what I've experienced and what I've seen, I think it is 1,000% healthier for the relationship if they're working for different companies.
Let's see here. We got Buddy Matthews spoke about potentially working with his wife, Rhea Ripley, on the Chris Van Vliet podcast. He said, I think that's the big question. So I would love to do something with her. I think that story and our chemistry, just the way we are, would be good television. That's definitely something, and itch I'd like to scratch. But the good thing about her and WWE and me and AEW and us both being in the business is that I would never want, and I don't think I'd ever get there. I'd never want to be jealous or get jealous of her in her position. She's a megastar. She's John Cena of women right now. And if I'm lowered, let's just say I'm doing enhancement matches or whatever. I don't want to be like, well, you're doing that, you get the special treatment, and I get this, then kind of resent her for the position. Like I said, I don't think it would ever happen, but I wouldn't even want to be an option. That to be an option. Then also, if something happens at work, I want her to be able to vent to me without me going, yeah, no, but this is how you play that game. I kind of be in the back seat, go. Yeah, I understand. I kind of be in the back seat, go, yeah, I understand what you're talking about. You deserve whatever, or you should do it like this or whatever, or just let her rant and I can do the same to her. I can say I did this and did this. We can talk about the positives. We talk about the negatives, what upsets us and all. And it's just like we're on the same team. It would never become a competition. That would definitely be something I thought about at the start. Would I love to work with her? Absolutely. I don't think there would be anyone in the wrestling industry from any company or any part of the world that wouldn't want to do something with Rhea Ripley. Whatever she touches turns to gold. Now, that was a lot said there. I got a question for you, Vince, because you've always spoke very, very highly of Buddy Matthews. My question is, what do you think about his comments? And again, the nuance that I saw, something I saw and I extracted from that is, in an indirect way, he's saying that Rhea Ripley complains to him about WWE and her time there and things going into the WWE. What do you feel about that, and what could she be complaining about?
Well, I got to tell you this, Chris. Like, bro, when you're reading that, like, all I'm thinking of is Marc Mero and Sable. That's all I'm thinking of, because without a question of a doubt, Rhea Ripley would be Sable and Buddy Matthews would be Marc Mero, without a shadow of a doubt. So I want to ask EC3 as one of the boys. Bro, I would bet anything, EC3, for the relationship. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think it is, from what I've experienced and what I've seen, I think it is 1,000% healthier for the relationship if they're working for different companies rather than working together. That from what I, DDP and Kimberly. I mean, bro, there's a million, Gangrel and Luna. I mean, guys, I went through Chris Candido and Sonny. I went through this a million times. My feeling is the relationship would be a lot better if they work for different companies. Am I nuts, EC3?
I don't think you're nuts. And I think it's probably a case-by-case basis. I think the couples you mentioned, that DDP and Kimberly are still married.
No, they've been divorced forever.
Okay, sorry, Diamond. Sorry, I'm not.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he's 2 wives past Kimberly. Yeah, he's on his 3rd wife, DDP. Yes.
All right. Well, shit.
Yeah.
I think case-by-case basis, more often than not, though, I would believe you're correct, solely for the fact that when you have time together, it's about you guys, as opposed to, dude, I can only imagine, and some people could pull it off. I don't think I could, or you'd get bored, but it's just like, hey, we're going to TV. We wake up in our house, hop into the car, drive to the airport. Well, we're on the same flight, probably sitting next to each other. Land. All right, grab our bags. Let's get a rental car. Here we go. Go to the show. Oh, we're together. What are you doing? Blah, blah. 3 hours where you're maybe not around each other. Show's over. Back into the car. Drive. Hotel. Staying together. Wake up. Go to the gym. Go to the show. Drive to another place. 3 hours, 4 hours, sometimes 5. Hotel. Same thing. Monday. TV. Drive in. 10-hour TV day, which is always chaos around each other. There's no reprieve because after TV, back to the hotel. Fly home. Land. Get back into the same car. Drive to the house. Like, what? There is no separation. And I think in a separate company, granted, if they can have conversations that are not wrestling related, because things wrestlers love to do the most is complain about what they're doing in wrestling and what's going on in wrestling. Yeah, I think you're right, Vince. That's the way I'd prefer it, a different company. Just based on the fact that when you have time together, it's special. And when you don't, you're working.
Yeah, because Chris, even when you think about it, like just another aspect of that, Becky and Seth, Becky was going through some type of a contract thing with the WWE. That's going to have an effect on her husband. I mean, whether they want to admit that or not, that's going to have so. I don't know, bro. What do you think?
That's a fair point. Especially, both of y'all made very fair points. Here's my wrench to that, though, is, man, we've seen historically when wives are working away from hubbies, in the wrestling business, man, it doesn't turn out very good. When it comes to opportunities for others to jump in, and it doesn't end well. You know what I mean? So, and it just makes me wonder. From what I can tell with Rhea and Buddy, like it seems super loyal, and they're just like best friends. Buddy Matthews has even said that they're best friends, but saying that we're best friends is also something that every other couple said in many ways before someone jumped in from the locker room. And it just makes I don't know this. EC3, I think you would have a better take than any of us right now. Is there a level of respect when it comes to those couples nowadays as opposed to 80s wrestling, 90s wrestling, early 2000s wrestling of, I don't care if you're married or not, hey, I'm still going to try to shoot my shot.
Oh, man. You're singing what's that word called? Where you're cheating?
Philanthropically?
Philosophically.
Oh, philosophically. Got you. Yeah.
No, I would feel, human nature and is what it is. So between 80s, 90s, aughts to today, if they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat. You know what I mean? I do think that in the context of now, it's far easier to be caught. So it's probably lessened. But at the same time, I don't think the era has changed everything. But I do think there's less likely for that to happen nowadays. And then again, that's the burden of relationships, like the trust and the loyalty. Like one thing when I actually had a sustainable, decent, great relationship was when I would travel, like I had full trust and she had full trust with me. And no matter the opportunities that present themselves, because that shit gets thrown at you, boy. Like not obliging that temptation because of what I believed in our relationship. So I can't say that's for everybody though. And especially like trust is the most important thing, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It definitely seems like, Buddy and Rhea are a really, solid couple. Just, besties playing video games type of deal, on Twitch, So it definitely has that vibe to it, as opposed to 80s and 90s wrestling is not as much as those outlets. And, you don't have you don't have to keep yourself accountable as a couple by being on Twitch and having these outlets to, you're doing things together, when you're at home. So nowadays, back in the 80s and 90s, man, it was more, it was more like, hey, so you're not here, she's here, and wrestlers are going to, do what they want to do, and they can get away with it much more than how it used to be. So,
I would say the culture too is kind of like 80s, 90s, like, what do you do after a show? Eat or go to a bar, right? Like there was nothing to go back to the room. Like I can play a game on my phone, or some people try for video games, or I can watch a movie on demand, whatever I want with my phone or my pad. So I think that kind of prevents it a lot. I would say though, be careful about being best friends with your mate and your partner, because sometimes if you're best friends, you lose the connection as lovers. Helpful advice from my train wreck.
Really? Yeah. Well, there's actually studies that show that people who are best friends has a better chance of not divorcing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. You should marry your best friend, man. Yeah. You should marry your best friend. It's the closest person. You have that intimate connection. Of course, having male and female best friends apart from your relationship is good. But at the same time, I mean, hey, this is a person you want to do life with. That's why you married them. I mean, travel together, play video games together, be intimate together, talk together, so stuff like that is important,
I'll have to revisit my strategy to find a spouse out of spite.
Yeah, man. Hey, maybe those
maybe get married and live together forever.
Maybe those ones who are just randomly texting you, hey buddy, how you been, bud? Hey Bob, how's it going? How's the workout? Those are the ones that you need to say, hey, what, she is kind of cute.